I stayed up till from like 9 something to 2 a.m. last night, and today worked for something like 4 to 5 hours with a new, well, it's not that new, it's kind of new, AI site and app building tool known as Base 44. Highly innovative, highly useful, very responsive. Some issues, but overall, very interesting tool, very useful. I recommend checking it out. Base 44. But what I was working on is a site that I plan to put online as a free resource for whoever wants to use it. Essentially, helping writers outline their novels. And I know before you jump at me, there's plenty of tools for this that already exist. There's Notion, there's this, there's that. I know that. A lot of them are paid. And also, this idea that I have, which is called Progressions, is based on the concept, if you've watched my plotting my next novel video, like a few videos back, I mention the different method that I use to plot the novel that I'm currently working on. And it just went so much more efficiently, so much more smoothly. The whole novel was plotted in a week. Like, vast majority of the plotting, and now I've done a little more afterward, the vast majority of the plotting is done. There's just like little kinks to work out, little things to clarify. And it just worked so well that I think this would work for a lot of different stories, for a lot of different people. But to sort of represent a progression visually, there's really no tool currently available to do that. This is enough preamble. I'll get into all the features that this website is going to entail. There's going to be an About the Creator page with a lot of information about me, a lot of things from me that are not even accessible on this YouTube channel, videos of me playing banjo and of wrestling, and links to read my stories. And then there will be a page where people can donate money to help support the cause, and because free money. If I am personally not turning down the opportunity to embed free money, basically, into a project that I'm making. And then there's a page that will have a video tutorial that I will create walking through every single feature of this app with a screen recorder, so don't worry about it. If you're confused in the future when I do make this website public, which I will, then there'll be a whole tutorial there, and then you can go to your actual account, your dashboard, look through your stories, and there is space that you can write about your characters, and then here's where general notes, here's locations, here's specific scenes. But the main two features in this dashboard that make this particular tool stand out from other tools such as Notion or others would be the Progressions tab and the Storyline tab. The Progressions tab is where you essentially write out you detail all the progressions that are in your story. If you don't know what I mean by what a progression is, go back to my plotting my next novel video. I explain it completely. and you can fill out the notes, as I call them, that there are in that progression, like the steps along the path. And this interacts with the storyline tab. The storyline tab essentially there's the main storyline, which it's a line with circles on it. Each circle is one of the scenes that you have in your story. You can drag them, switch them around. There's a whole to-do with move that I tried. There was a whole to-do trying to get the Base 44 able to make this website work well with the storyline tab with the movement. But notes on a progression can move half steps, so they can happen in between a scene. So it's not big enough even to merit being a full scene in the story. But you write it out as its own, technically a mini scene, but it's not in the website listed under scenes, because scenes is for bigger things. Whereas a note on a progression details what specifically happens for that progression at that time. And essentially by visually setting up the progression lines, there's also lines with circles. I know, mind-blowing. In the storyline, and okay, I line up this note on the progression with this scene, so it's showing all these notes on these different progressions at the same time as this scene. Then this next scene, okay, these few progressions don't have a note here. They have it in the next scene. And then in the next scene, this one doesn't have a note because that one happens 3 scenes later. So you can essentially visually set up sort of chronologically how each progression works along with the main storyline, and you can sort of visually see how the story progresses in time. One of the things I'm still currently working over is the aesthetic. I already decided on the colors: white, beige, maybe gray, as a minor color, and blue so dark that it's almost black. Really more of a bluish black in a way. Blackish blue, whatever you want to call it. But so the way Base 44 made the website is that its aesthetic is basically just white space. It's just white space and text. And then little buttons, tons of things have mood boards where you can here's the mood board for this character, here's the mood board for this scene, where you can insert audio and links and images that basically give you the vibe, that scene or character or location or whatever. And it's just that, and then text, and then boxes, and then white space. And that works. I've seen plenty of sites that are just that simple, that it's just that. They don't try and hit you with anything. And I am kind of looking for an overall simple aesthetic. But I want it to be aesthetically memorable. The way it is now, there's no aesthetic at all. So how do you remember anything about the aesthetic? But if it's just that distinct enough that people remember it aesthetically, then people are more likely to come back and more likely to keep using it. And that's a good question. Why do I want people to come back and to keep using this thing? Why do I want traffic? First of all, because I think it's going to be actually useful to people and help them write better stories. Second of all, because people will know that it's attached to me. And that means that people in the writing world, writers who are also readers, most of them, big readers, will know about me, so that when I start publishing things, they will see my name and be like, this is the guy that made the site that I used, now I have to buy all his books. And then my books sell. and I make money. Speaking of making money, donations. The more people come, the more people can give me donations. Look, I'm not going to pretend I'm not a greedy Jew. Not all Jews are greedy, just me. But I am also helping people while being greedy. They're not necessarily mutually exclusive. So I have somewhere in there some good motivations for doing this sprinkled in. You can rest assured. I honestly expected the process of making a website to be very boring. Very mentally like, I'll clarify this little detail. No. This value needs to be 473, not 474, stupid AI. That kind of boring, geeky thing. Not that all geeky things are boring, but that geeky thing is. But it actually ended up being like incredibly investing in a way, like the most fun I've had in quite a while. I said I stayed up till 2 a.m. because I was just thinking so hard, and the idea was moving so fast in my brain. And there was just nothing. I could not go to sleep until I ran out of uploads, and I had to wait until tomorrow to upgrade my plan so that I could talk to the AI more to keep going. And then today I've spent a bunch of time doing it, and now I'm here talking about it. I guess it's because I didn't really have to do much. I mean, I put in like hours of work. I put in like more than a full work day into this website. But it wasn't a full day of work. I was writing up prompts and looking over the website and thinking it through and telling the AI what it needed to do, but I have not coded a line. I'm sure if I was actually doing software work, actually coding this, not only would it take me like 3 weeks longer and probably honestly cost more than the $50 that I paid to be able to do it this quickly. Also, I'm absolutely certain I would hate this process, but it ended up being an absolute blast. So, what to do from your end? I would say wait until this thing comes out. I'll get it out as soon as I can. I've got plenty of other, life involvements as well. So I'll get to publicizing it when I can, but I will announce it on this channel, give y'all links, because I'm a nice guy. And even if you don't have a website to make, just go try out Base 44. Have it make whatever, because it is a blast, and it is immensely interesting, and innovative things like that deserve attention. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all that damn stuff that YouTubers tell you to do for more regular writing advice and more updates on this project.